Hey guys, I'm Ashley Woodmansey, and today we're going to be going over the prompt hierarchy. Prompting is an antecedent strategy used to provide assistance for a learner to use a specific skill. Prompts are placed after an instruction is given and before the learner can respond. Prompts are important because they are used in teaching a variety of skills to children and learners with autism. Prompts are also helpful with reducing frustration and helping to build confidence in our learners. There are 7 types of prompts: independent, visual, verbal, gestural, modeling, partial physical, and full physical. There are 2 methods to utilize when prompting. There is most to least and least to most. Most to least prompting is when you start with the most invasive and least independent prompt so that the learner accomplishes the task correctly. Over time, you will fade to the least invasive and most independent prompt. Least to most prompting is when you start with the least invasive and move to the most invasive prompt that is required for your learner. Least to most prompting consists of the teacher allowing the learner to respond independently on each training trial and then delivering the least intrusive prompt for the learner. This allows for the learner to have the opportunity to perform the response with the least amount of assistance on each trial. The level of prompt initially used is determined by the response type of the learner. The full physical prompt is when you physically move the learner's hand or body to complete the given task. The partial physical prompt is when you are still physically touching the learner, but you are giving minimal physical guidance. Modeling is used when you physically show your learner what the expected behavior is. The gestural prompt is when you are giving your learner a gesture or a movement that is showing them what is expected. This can be pointing or nodding. A verbal prompt is when you provide the learner with a full or partial spoken response. The visual prompt is when you have a picture, text, video, or photo to cue the learner of the response. Visual schedules are also a visual prompt that allows the child to see each step of the task. Independent is when the learner recognizes the natural cues that are happening before a behavior is expected and then they respond accordingly. I will now demonstrate each of these prompts utilizing the least to most method first, and then I will utilize the most to least method. I'm going to use the prompting hierarchy for the behavior of turning on the sink for my learner. Independent, visual, verbal, turn on the sink, gestural, turn on the sink, modeling, partial physical, full physical, now I'm going to do from the most to least method. Full physical, partial physical, modeling, gestural, verbal, turn on the sink, visual, independent. This was my example of the prompt hierarchy for turning on the sink. Thank you for watching the video.